Hello, guys. So I decided, sorry, the screen's going to be a bit boring for a second while I talk. I'll spin the camera around a bit. I'm going to make a tutorial series. It's going to be multiple parts. It's going to have the sculpting of the character. I'm going to have a retopologizing the character. I'll explain what that is when we get to it. We'll texture it. We'll rig it so we can animate it, and we'll make some animations. Then we'll make a small scene in order to render that character out. So essentially, you're going to be able to learn from this series how to go from absolutely nothing to having a character that you could bring into a video game if you did so want. The specific character I'm going to make is a sort of stylized, a little bit on the anime side. It's sort of a request/challenge. I'm going to put it on screen. It's this guy here. So the things I need to look for, I'm going to ignore the wings for now, just pretend they're not there. I will add those in later. But what I need to look for is, I'm also going to ignore the hair, just the head. So the head shape, probably like that. And he's got a very thin neck, so I don't need to worry too much on that. And we'll do full hands. So he's got full hands there. And he's got, obviously, normal feet, normal legs, so relatively normal anatomy, other than the fact that he has a very thin neck and large head. Okay. So, get rid of this quick. Get rid of those. What we're going to start is, in case your mouse isn't centered, so you've got your cursor here, in case that's not centered, you're going to Shift C. And then we're going to go Add, Mesh. We're going to go for a UV sphere. And because I prefer it, I'm going to go with turn on ambient occlusion and turn on matte cap. And you've got a selection of them. I prefer this red one. Some people might prefer different ones, but the red one I find is the easiest to see. And then I'm going to hit 3 on the numpad to look at it from the side view. Go into sculpt mode, grab, and in order to resize it, it's F for the way. And if you shift F, you can change the strength. But I do want to be on 100 for the grab tool. And if I grab it with this, because the circle, that circle that goes around, which is green, encompasses everything, I'll pull everything, which isn't what I want. I want the circle to be about like there, so that these bits aren't affected, so they stay there. Bring this up, make sure symmetry is on. It is, that's fine. So for this bit, I'm doing the rough shape. He's got a very sort of round head. Out. He's got a very wide head as well. Also, at any point, I can bring up this background image, have a look. In the image, he doesn't actually have a chin, but he is going to have a chin with us because we're doing it in 3D while the image is in 2D. So we will be giving him a chin. Okay. Put this forward a bit. Very big cheeks as well. So, gonna get a rough shape. It doesn't need to be perfect, this, just for the rough shape. Okay. Next up, we're gonna go hit dynamic topology, which will turn all your mesh into this, which is done with Z. In case you don't have the sidebar, by the way, T opens and closes it. And if you don't have this one, N opens and closes that one. I actually don't need that one anymore, so I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go play strips. And you'll notice the strength is on 50 here. Now start adding in more. And if you hold shift down while you're on any brush, it'll give you the smooth brush. So you can do that and then hold shift and go over it to smooth it back out. Because of the style of this character, I probably do want quite smooth skin, so that's the ideal. Get a sort of a rounded off shape. Hit 1 to look at it from front view. It might be a bit too wide. In a bit, up a little bit as well. Yeah. side view. Make sure the coming out. Yeah, you get the idea, and just sort of going for a basic shape. Don't probably have that a bit too far out now. Move it over. And eventually with dynamic topology, if I were to zoom all the way out to like here and click now, you'll notice it does topology. Topology is these little triangles, by the way. Adds an extra. So I could go all the way down here, zoom in all the way, and I can just still work at relatively decent thing. Obviously, that would be absolutely useless for this particular project, but it's useful on some of them. So I doubt many would find use with that small. Not unless you're going to make like an entire planet and you wanted to sort of do detail on very, very close up pieces. But there we go. I'm getting the sort of a basic shape that I want. Cartoon character, so I don't have to worry too much about anatomy, but obviously I still want to be roughly on anatomically correct. Not an easy word to say. And that looks about right. Got quite a square jawline, I've noticed. Picture again. Actually, I'm not going to get rid of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up, flip to the side. About there. Okay. Very square jawline. Okay, it doesn't have a nose. Also, yeah, it'll only appear on the front view. If you turn the viewer tool with the middle mouse button, you won't get the image, which is quite useful actually because it's very annoying sometimes. Okay. And very big mouth. We're not actually going to do all the mouth. He's going to have his mouth closed for the sculpt. We will do an open mouth later, but we want to be animatable. So I'm going to go on to this crease brush, add in where the mouth would be. That. And might actually be a bit high. His mouth is very low on his face. That should be about there. Brilliant. And eyes, which about there. Maybe too far to the left. Or there. That's about right. Middle. Brush a bit bigger. How about space for the eye holding control down? There we go. And then I'll go around this, sort of neatening it up a bit. Okay. Now, noticing, but don't actually want the eye to be all the way over here. Pull that one forward. Make him look a bit bug-eyed for now, but that's fine. We'll fix all of this. And now probably is not quite where we want it. Does have very big eyes. That's fine. Character has big eyes. And probably want more. Probably still want the forehead to come up because foreheads don't tend to be solid, like a rounded. Not as much as that was, at least. Very subtle movements. Then go over it. Move it a bit. Almost undid everything I did anyway. Not quite though. There we go. Now, and do want to probably put the neck in a bit, so I'm gonna slightly that. Grab a snake hook down. center one. Move out. There we go. Ooh, inflate brushed. Pull this out a little. Okay, how's that for the thinness of the neck? No, I probably want it a bit thinner than that. Relatively shortish neck, actually, for an anime character. And I think I've actually made his jaw a bit too square. That's more like that would be a bit better. I'm gonna pull this back a bit as well, because although the character is relatively square faced, I have to remember I'm doing it in 3D rather than 2D. So looks like I've made ET currently. I'm gonna get copyright strike on a make an ET, and I hope one of my 0 subscribers doesn't report me. Right, just beef this up a bit. We're not actually doing the body just yet, so it doesn't matter too much. Just sort of making sure that it's ready. Go around this, neatening it all up. Brilliant. So we now have a relatively alien looking guy. We're gonna jump onto I'm gonna close this end menu, and then on the second page here, where it has visible layers at the bottom down here, I'm gonna go on to the second one, press free, look at it from side view. Then I'm gonna get rid of this background image. You don't need to do that, you should have one. Go Shift A, Mesh, UV Sphere. There we go. Get Tab A to select all. If you haven't already got it selected, you want it all to be yellow. Press R to rotate. Hold Control. Go up to this blue line, which is about like that. So you want it to a 90-degree angle, and it will say 90-degree down the bottom left when you're looking. Now, if I look at the image again, quickly glance at his eyes. He's actually got quite large eyeballs, but the actual middle part there is quite small. So what we want to do, probably grab just go on to face select mode, which is here. Select probably just that. That might be too big. Yeah, might be a bit big, but we'll get rid of this front line. And yeah, that should do. I'm just going to pull that forward, just tiniest little bit, just to make that little sort of bump out of that. Now we're going to select a couple more. Go for about there. Brilliant. And we're going to press Shift D, duplicate, then right click to put it back. Press P, separate by selection. Brilliant. Then press Tab to come out. Now, if you notice, you'll have this piece. If we right click right at the front, should be able to get it just with this piece. And then I right click to put it back. So hit Tab, go on to vertice select mode, set this middle vertice here, press O to turn on perspective, and then instead we want to pull it back, but we want it to sort of stay at the front, and then about there we go. Now if we go into this mode, it shouldn't be visible. Good. Edit, I'm going to go Control R to add an edge loop, add that one in there, and I'm going to bring it down. Press O to turn that back off again. There we go. I'm going to bring this one in. Perfect. Now we're going to, while this one is selected, so the inside one's selected, we're going to go up onto this screen over on this side, which is over here. We want to click on this little piece here. The material, we want to hit New. We're going to double click that and rename that to Inner Eye. I'm going to go Eye Inner. It's easier to find. Then you want to select the outside one, New, double click that. We're going to go Eye Outer. don't actually need to do those textures yet, but now they're there. So now I'm going to click this piece, and I'm going to click the second piece, and go Shift P. No, I'm not going to go Shift P. I'm going to go Join on this left bar over here, which is under Tools, Join. If you haven't got that open, you press T to bring it up, and Join. Now they are all in one character front. I'm going to press M, move to layer, move it to the first layer. I'm going to hit Tab, go into edit mode, and I'm going to just bring it up here. Oh, see, press Control Z to undo that. Select all, then bring it to here. Go onto the side view, pull it forward to about, yeah, there we go. Now we're going to go onto this sidebar again. Hit this one to go on modifiers, and modifier mirror. And that puts it on both sides. If you realize that when you've done that, you've actually got it weird and it's mirrored it wrong, so any different way. So, for example, if it looks like that, or if it looks like this, what you need to do is click on the original piece, go Control A, and then rotation scale. But mine was already correct. Brilliant. Additionally, if you move it in object mode rather than edit mode, so this mode, which is tab to swap between them, then that could also be incorrect. And what you will want to do is click on your piece. So you press Shift C to put the cursor in the center. Click on your piece. Right, so you've got the eye selected. Then go Set Origin to Free Cursor. Otherwise, your origin, if your origin is over here, then it's mirroring it off of this. So you don't want that. You want it mirrored off the direct center. That's where we're basing everything. That's why the symmetry is the faces. Now we know where the eye is. You notice he hasn't got much of an eyelid. We're probably not going to give him much of an eyelid, but we are going to give him a little bit because it looks quite weird otherwise. It works in 2D, especially in anime styles, but doesn't look very good for 3D. Gonna go on to this one, add in, make him a little angry, adding in a little bit around the outside. Pull some of this back, looks way too angry. Make sure it's neat. The character, by the way, that I'm doing here is called Red Velvet, made by Taku Blue, who I'll link the Toy House page for in the description. I do have their permission to make this character, not plagiarizing them or anything, don't worry. Gonna go. See, I'm not having to add much of an eyelid, but just a little bit of one. It still looks a bit weird, I know. Don't worry about it. We're just not going to talk about that. Got relatively big cheeks here, but you'll notice I'm actually not doing too much in terms of detail at the moment. It's just building up pieces till it looks right. Okay. Looks a bit happier now. Okay. And got some of the cheeks. Still looks very scary. Okay. Doesn't really have any lips, but that's not too much of an issue. We'll work around that. And if his mouth is closed, where would it be roughly, do you reckon? So, about here. Okay, it's probably around about the middle. So I'll put it here. If his mouth was open, that would look a lot more normal, I think. I'm actually going to drop it down a little bit more than that. So about here. I'm just using the crease brush up here, by the way, for this. And I'm still using a mouse at the moment, and strength is a bit lower on my crease brush. Perhaps should give him a nose. The image hasn't got one, but I feel like you should have something there. Okay. A little bit. Nothing extensive, just might not even give him sort of nostrils, just sort of a little bit there so it looks a bit less weird. Probably going to give him lips as well. Not that thick though. I have to change the size of the brush. Build up a little bit of top volume. Yeah, I don't have to stick to the image exactly. I just need to sort of keep it in the right kind of area. Also, because of the time of year, the character is going to have a slight Christmas theme to it. And apparently it's going to look a little bit like a fish, but that's fine. This is very happy looking currently. Get rid of that again. So he's a happy character, so that's not too bad. Okay, just gonna build up a little more of this cheek volume. Okay, there we go. Big cheek going on there. Again, you can put more time and you can do a different kind of character if you want. At some point, I'll do a little bit more in depth of how to get the sort of more realistic looking characteristics, especially on the nose and eyes, because I know those are the ones that people struggle with. Um, yeah, it's relatively simple. But slightly, you get very different effects from the different brushes, so it is worth swapping between the brushes if you think there's another brush that can do the job better. Okay. Go just a little closer in. The closer in you are with this dynamic topology, because we have it set to relative detail down here, the closer you are, the more topology you'll get. So the more little triangles are added. So I think I already mentioned that, but this off a little. Like it should have a relatively large ball on the end. I don't want him to have too big a side nostrils. Okay, put that up a bit. Okay, crease. Yeah, sort of pulling that bit up there. Look. Very, very scary looking. This could give you nightmares. That's good. A bit that quite unnatural looking. A little bit uncanny. And in on the side. Yeah, like that. It should merge around. So there we go. And I think I just undid everything I just picked, but trying to get a little bit of an indent for the eyebrow line. And doesn't need to be a big indent, very slight flat. Clean it up a bit, but not make them look angry again. There we go. Lips here. And then you'd have a lot more room for the lips if you were doing a more realistic looking character. The lips generally would also only about come up to the edge of the eyes, but because of the size of the eyes on this, the lips are also relatively large. So everything is a bit oversized when you do cartoon style. Pretty much what defines the style generally. Okay. In the front, the top lip should come out more than the bottom lip, so that's perfectly normal. You don't want it to come out too much or look like you've got a bit of a bit more of an overbite, but the top lip generally has a little bit more volume. You'll notice that if you try to make them look even, it'll look weird, especially from the side, which is why I keep looking at the side. This doesn't look too bad currently, which is surprising. I would expect it to look horrific. He's starting to sort of take shape and add some bit of jaw hair. That chin will go. Chin piece. But then just destroyed, but that doesn't matter. Just sort of working out where his base features are is all we're working on. We'll add his ears in a minute. But again, yeah, I'm not doing a complicated character. You can do an as complicated or as simple one as you like. Totally up to you. But, I just want to sort of show you how to do these things rather than show you what I can or can't do, if you get what I mean. I don't think his neck should be so triangular, so I'm gonna this a bit, pull that in, get that crease under the jaw, where it meets the neck, and clean it up a bit. Yeah. Okay. And now, shoulder muscles turning up there now. It's not meant to be a muscly character though, so. Okay. Pull the side of his head out. Gonna have hair on, but a lot easier if you can get it around about what you want before adding things like that. Let me know in the comments, preferably before I get to the video, what kind of head you want. Do you want me to use a particle effect, or should I do a sort of mesh hair? Completely different styles. I'm more of a fan of the particle effects, but I know that a lot of people do quite like the sort of art style of the other. Particle effects don't tend to transfer into video games well, so perhaps I should just do the other one anyway. But really up to you. I'll let my one of my 0 subscribers make the decision. I'm going to mention that until I have subscribers. So if you do watch this video, subscribe. I won't hold it against you if you don't, but you know, I will. I try to find myself to sleep at night. I think his forehead is a little bit flat, so I'm going to try to not ruin all the other. Do that. Cross over there. Move it in a bit there. Make sure it's not too much, just a bump. There, corners. Move that out. Okay. He is currently still utterly terrifying. That is fine. Yeah. So, although it doesn't look much like the original character, but it's 3D, so I'm going to use that as an excuse repeatedly. Got a bit too much of a neck definition here, shoulder definition. habits coming through. And this back shoulder muscle isn't a muscly character in the slightest, and his shoulders only actually come out about as wide as his head. I'm gonna bring it back in a little. Very weird feeling to do. Pull this body down, and it does destroy the set a little bit, but that's fine. Body should be about there, I think. But we can always adjust and change that later if we feel we need to. Add this, this, move it all out, keep it smooth. And we're going to go for a different pose than they has in the current photo. Because we want it to be one symmetrical so that we can easily rig it. Rigging being giving it a skeleton so it can be animated in case you aren't aware. We will do that in a later tutorial with the same character as well, so you'll be able to follow along from start to finish if you do so wish. I don't like these sort of horrible triangle look that we get. That's sort of smoothing it out. Brilliant. Now, notice a bit that his hips do actually come out rather than in, which again is not something you tend to do on male characters. Men being anatomically smaller hips. But when you're doing a stylized character, it's really up to you. You can do pretty much anything. Can't really see his backside, but I think he would have one. I would hope. But I'm not going to put too much definition because it's a male character, but with the hips, he may well have one. Just add some topology in here to support the piece. Yeah. And almost done there. And you've noticed I've kept a bit of a V shape at the bottom. That is very intentional because that is how, if you look at a human hip bone, you'll notice that the hips sort of cave in like almost like a triangle, and then the legs would come out here and here. So if I went, the legs would come out like here and like that. But yeah, not like that though. But so more like that. But I'm not doing that just yet. Sort of figure out this shape a bit. Don't want it. Although he's got his hips that come out a bit, don't want to bring them out too much. And doesn't have much of a crotch area, so I don't want that to be overly defined. And that might be okay. Let's just have a look where I can just sort of having a do still need to do the ears, arms, and legs. And how long is this video so far? 30 minutes. I think what I'll do then is I shall now come back into object mode, and this is what we have so far. And in the next episode, I will get on to making the arms, legs, and ears. And depending on how long that takes us, I'll then move on to retopology. Right. Thank you for watching, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much.